Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Girls Like Hoops podcast. I'm Tori. I hope you guys are having a great week. I know what you're thinking, Tori. Why is this episode coming out on a Tuesday? And I have literally 3 of the perfect excuses that you've ever heard. The first being, guys, I got a job. I'm no longer unemployed. Tori in the future, cue the applause. Yes, I got a job. And shockingly, once you have a job, it's pretty hard to fit in basketball. And on top of that, I have an hour commute there, hour commute back. And by the time I get home, I tutor kids in math now, and kids are actually shockingly draining. So, y'all, I'd be sleepy. But I have my second excuse is that I went to a WNBA game like last week. Right? And I was having so much fun. It was the Dream versus Storm game, and I went there to root for the Storm with my friends, but the Storm lost. But we're going to get to that anyways. Past that, I stayed with my friends for the weekend, and so I didn't watch any basketball because I was too busy having fun, being a young, hot girl. So, there was just no time in there. And then I missed all the games on Friday because I went to that one game. Then I missed all the games Saturday because I was at my friend's place. Then I missed the game Sunday because I came home. I didn't feel like watching basketball. I wanted to take a nap. And so I did. And then Monday, first day of work, I was really tired, but I went on live on TikTok to talk about women's basketball in real time with the people. So if you guys have not checked out my TikTok page, or I go on live with this other women's basketball creator, Justice Collins, and we talk about women's basketball, the games that come on those days, and college basketball, and the people ask us questions and stuff like that about, free agency and all of these things, trade stuff and all of that. So if you guys want to go check that out, please do. It's linked in the description. But also, we've had a lot of WNBA players pop up into the live. We had Jonquel Jones in there one day. We had Nneka Ogwumike. We had that's really it. But you know what? They've been in there, and we're doing some cool stuff over there and building a little community. So like kind of the community I'm building here, but also on TikTok. And also on TikTok, I do like live updates of games that I've watched in real time. So I did a lot of content about the Lynx this weekend. And, Lynx versus Fever, Lynx versus Aces, stuff like that. I talked about some of my thoughts on the Storm amongst some other things. And then we just answer people's questions and stuff in the lives. And we'd be on live for like hours doing like basketball stuff, but also like karaoke and other stuff. So if you guys are ever interested in that, please go check that out. We go live at least like 3 to 4 times a week. So, okay, that's my spiel. And those are my 2 excuses, really 3. And my third excuse is that there was 19 games to watch. Yeah, that's my third excuse. There was 19 games to watch, and I'm just a girl. I was sleepy. Y'all, I watched 17 basketball games in the past 2.5 days. When do I get rest? The answer is never. But actually, I had to not watch 3 of them games. So really, I watched 16 games, and then I watched the quick games of the last 3. But you know what? I'm here now, though. I'm here for you now, and we have a lot of things to discuss. So, get in your seats, okay? Buckle that seatbelt, and let's lock into the basketball. Good stuff. Anyways, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Unrivaled and the 5 new players they've announced since the Olympics ended. So first of all, we had Dearica Hamby announced, Kayla McBride, Marina Mabrey, Satu Sabally, and Alicia Gray. And with those 5 new players, we're up to half of the 30-man roster that they said we're going to be participating in the league. And again, this Unrivaled League and the players in it are going to be receiving like equity in the company or like the league, something like that. And Google it. You'll Google it. But it's just supposed to be like the top 30 players who have obviously like said yes or agreed to play. And they're just unveiling them like as the weeks go on. And it's been really fun. They have like, if you go on their Twitter page or like their Instagram, they like release hint videos. And then, people try to guess who the player is going to be. And then like the next day they release who it is. And it's a whole thing. So fun. But I'm going to keep you guys updated on the stuff that's going on with Unrivaled. And hopefully I'll be watching when the league starts. And then also talking about college basketball. But that's a lot of games for college basketball. So we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna figure that out as we go on. Maybe I'll ask you guys who you want me to be watching, what games for the week, stuff like that. But until then, that's what we have right there. So then next we have some trades. The trade deadline was like last week. I think it was last Wednesday, I think. But there was a couple of moves that were made and I had talked about previously. But there's not like typically a lot of trades that happen in the WNBA the same way that it does in the NBA. Like the NBA, like they be trading. Whoo, they be trading crazy. But in the WNBA, it's like less of that, much less. So there was the initial trade that happened like during like the last game, or really like for the trades, there was the first one between the Sun and the Sky that happened like I think before the All-Star game, or like the last game before the Olympic break, and it was between the Sun and the Sky. All you really need to know about this trade is that Marina Mabury from the Sky went to the Sun, and the Sky received Rachel Banham, Mariah Jefferson, and I think, did they get some picks? Or actually, did the Sky send some picks? Girl, I don't really know what happened. I know the people moved, though. That's all you need to know, okay? If you don't even look into it, if you Google it. Google it if you want, but you just know who left, okay? Just know who left and who you got. All right, then the next trade that happened the day of the deadline, the Mystics traded with the Lynx, and the Mystics received Sika Kone and Olivia Akupa, and I believe they also got a pick. Google it. But the Mystics waived Olivia Akupa, who they got in that trade, and then they also waived Dee Dee Richards, who had gotten injured during one of their last games before the Olympic break. And honestly, I hope she heals up well and ends up on a roster. I think it was, I don't really remember what her injury was, but honestly, sending lots of prayers and good energy to Miss Girl, because she's been through it for the past like season or two. So shout out to Dee Dee Richards, girl. Stay up. Keep your head up, girl. But the Lynx got Myisha Hines-Allen and maybe a pick, or maybe not a pick, or maybe they got money. I don't really know. Google it, but like just know who you got and who left, okay? That's all you need to know. Lastly, the Storm picked up Gabby Williams, who played for the France national team during the Olympics and had an amazing game against the US. Honestly, she played really great, but also she played with the Storm previously before the whole prioritization rule stuff happened with the WNBA, and she signed on with the Storm for the remainder of the season. Her first game is going to be, well, it's going to be Monday, so today at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but this episode not getting up by the time Eastern Standard Time happens. So if you end up seeing the game before you see this episode, tell me your thoughts on how you think she's fitting in. Anyways, but after her performance in the Olympics, I'm really excited to see her play with the team, and especially because I've kind of felt like as I was watching some of the Storm games like this week and then even some before the Olympic break, I just kind of have felt like the Storm are missing something. Just like, I think some of the guards a little bit, like while they score like double digits, it's kind of like a lot of the team seems to get a lot of their points in the paint or like around the rim or at the free throw line. And that's great and everything. But sometimes you do just need like shooters, and I think that they really struggled shooting lately and being efficient shooting. So I think that this is a really great pickup for them, and I think this is just like a much needed like offensive pickup for them. I think that they just really need like more options to go to sometimes, and I know I've talked about their bench utilization over the season and everything, and I've been a little bit critical of it, and I made some videos on TikTok actually about it as well, but it's just kind of like, I think this is going to be really great for them. And honestly, I think that Gabby Williams joining this team is going to make them like real like contenders for me. Like they were contenders already, but I think they're going to go much further in the playoffs, and honestly could even like win a chip potentially. So honestly, I'm excited to see how Gabby fits in and how everything's going to work from here. But I'm really excited for the Storm, and I'm excited for, the trade that the Lynx made. I saw like Myisha Hines-Allen playing with them earlier this week, and she did really great. She really fit in well. So I'm excited for that. Lastly, on the docket before we get into the games. Okay, I have two more things to say before we get into the basketball. The first being that the Sparks have signed Stephanie Talbot and Azariah Stevens to a year extension. So they'll be there next season, and hopefully Cameron Brink will be back and the team will be cooking with something. Rickea Jackson's playing amazing. We're going to get into that later, but I did want to announce those contract extensions. Also, the Mercury have given Monique Billings a end of the season contract, so she's going to be with them for the remainder of the season. She played well with them this week, so that's exciting, and I really do enjoy watching Monique Billings play basketball, so hopefully, she really gets a consistent job in the league. She deserves it. She's a great player. Lastly, I want y'all to know that Celeste Taylor's dad done went and liked my tweet. I'm putting the tweet on the screen. Like, I'm always going to give Celeste Taylor her flowers. I've been giving her flowers and her recognition on this podcast for the longest time, all season. I'm not no bandwagon, okay? So if y'all want to help me on my come up, I'm telling y'all, we done had John Quell and we done had Nneka. Nneka basically gave a cosign to the podcast because she was like, I'm gonna have to come back to the live and check it out. Yeah. So basically, this podcast received a cosign because the lives received a cosign, and I'm a part of the live. So by extension, the Girls Like Who's podcast also has a Nneka Agumake cosign. So if y'all want to be a part of the club before I reach my heights of fame, y'all better go ahead and join. Y'all need to subscribe, like, share, get in the comments. Know me before I get big, okay? Because if I eat, we all eat, okay? I eat, we all eat. Anyways, but her dad liked my tweet, and I really appreciated it, honestly. If you guys want to know, like, up-to-date stuff, like, while I'm watching the games, I be over there yapping and talking about that. So go and check out that Twitter account. It's so much fun over there. I be joking. And I also do updates about what is going on with the episodes and when they're coming out and stuff. So go and check that out. The Twitter is Hoops Like Girls, and just a picture of my face. So go check that out if you're interested. All right. So on to the basketball games. This is for the week of August 15th. So that Thursday, when the second half of the season started, and then to really low key like that Friday, because I watched a couple of the Friday games. Anywho, Thursday we had 3 games. The first was Mercury versus Sky, and I watched this game live. I was locked in, and I remember absolutely nothing from this game. What I do know is that the Mercury won 85-65, and Kennedy Carter did not play this game, and the Sky really struggled. They struggled really, really bad. Mercury won 85-25. Unfortunately, the Sky were held to 12 points in the first quarter, and they were down 18, which is kind of crazy. No shade. But this was a really rough game for the Sky. And honestly, the Twitter discourse around the Sky has been terrible ever since the second half of the season started. This team just really needs shooters because they have none. Like, it's not great. It's not great for them. At halftime, they were down 50-28. Things got chippy between Sophie Cunningham and Michaela, and I'm not going to say that girl's last name because I'm not going to butcher it. You will never catch me. You won't. Anyways, but it got chippy, and there were double techs handed out, and an additional tech was handed out to Diana Taurasi. There was also, during this game, a tech on Collier Copper. This Mercury team, they won the game, but I'm telling y'all, they have got to stay poised. There are far too many techs being thrown out, and I'm pretty sure you can only get like 6 before you get suspended. And I think that almost everybody on the Mercury who's a starter are in deep trouble. So we might see some suspensions from the Mercury before the end of the season. But the Mercury, I felt like they shared the ball well. 26 assists to the Sky's 14. They had 10 blocks to the Sky's 3. They shot the ball well from 3, which y'all know, shaky sometimes. Shaky. No shade. But they shot the ball well from 3, which is always their game plan. 52% from the 3 and 55% from the field in general. They beat them on fast break points and had the lead the entire game. And I have a screenshot of the lead chart. So anywho, Collier Copper had a great return after sealing the deal for the U.S. national team's gold medal game. She shot 12 of 19, had 29 points and 3 assists, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Collier Copper has to be the best player on the team, okay? And she did. She showed up that night and played amazing basketball. Brittany Griner had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 blocks, 2 steals, and shot 10 of 12, okay? BG was cooking that night, was cooking bad. DT had 11 points, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and 1 steal. And Celeste Taylor, because I'm always going to give Celeste Taylor her flowers, y'all know I'm going to support my sister every single time, shot 2 of 3 from 3 and had 2 assists, played 17 minutes, and again, is just playing good defense and making the right passes and allowing the game to come to her. This is a Celeste Taylor fan account, okay? Put respect on her name every day, okay? Nod your head with me. Yeah. Okay. She had a very efficient night, and the team in general had a very efficient night and got a much needed win after the break. I think hopefully what I was hoping after this game was over, that the Mercury were going to be looking really great. They were going to be looking really good, and I was going to have no threats towards Nate Tibbetts. However, it wouldn't be a week in the WNBA if I didn't threaten Nate Tibbetts' job. So that's more on that later. Anyways, for the Sky, like I said before, this is just not a very good shooting team, and they really need to be to stay like in any game at all. They shot 37% from the field. And to me, like, I think for this game in particular, I felt like the post players just didn't get enough touches. But at the end of the day, like, it's really tough for me to be like really hard on this team because this is a rebuild team and they're going well beyond like the expectations that were set for them this season. Nobody expected the Sky to be in the playoffs, like, at all. And right now they're on that track to be, I don't know for how much longer because the Dream have been playing really great. And I think they're coming for that playoff spot, I fear. But the fact that the Sky have even like been playing well this entire season has been crazy. And I do have to respect the grit that takes to be at that level. Like when everybody has been saying, yeah, like the Sky are going to do nothing. They're just not going to be good enough or whatever. And, you know, they played decent basketball for the entire season. So hopefully they're able to keep that playoff spot, but I think the Dream are coming to take that, I fear. So anyways, they had 38 points in the paint to Phoenix's 34. Looking at the numbers and the box score, it's pretty bad. But, you know, there are some bright spots here. Angel Reese, you know, she had her double-double, 11 points, 15 rebounds, 2 steals. Dana Evans, you know, people on Twitter and on TikTok and stuff, they rarely have good things to say about Dana Evans. But you know what? Dana Evans came through this game. She did. She shot efficiently. She shot 6 of 10 from the field, had 14 points. So you know what, Dana? Give yourself a pat on the back, honestly. Camila Cardozo had 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. So, you know, post players did well, and you had Dana Evans show up that day. So, congrats to her. As a team, they shot 27 of 73. That's all I'm going to say there. I'm going to let you sit with those numbers. Next game we have is the Mystics versus Lynx. The Lynx won 79-68. My key takeaway from the game was that Shakira Austin does indeed want all the smoke. Got teed up for cussing out people courtside. Honestly, as she should. Team been losing. And you know what? She was out there. She was giving it to everybody. She was giving it to people on the court. She was giving it to the rest. She was giving it to the people courtside. Yeah. Now that's a courtside experience, okay? Minnesota, if you want to give me some courtside seats, feel free to do that. For the Lynx, they had a really great game. Their defense was locked down as usual. And thankfully, the WNBA offered us with a lovely stat about Napheesa Collier's impact on the game. Their record with Napheesa is 14-6. Without her, it's 3-2. They even gave us a lovely offensive rating and a defensive rating. And honestly, we just need Napheesa Collier. And here's the thing. I loved this stat because Napheesa Collier, I've been hearing a lot of noise about Napheesa Collier and, oh, she didn't really do this during the Olympics. She didn't do that during the Olympics. Where was this level of play during the Olympics? That lady assumed her role, okay? If you are playing with Brianna Stewart and Asia Wilson, yeah, you're going to sit there and take that back seat. Yeah, you're going to sit there and take that back seat. But when she came back to the States, she assumed her role for the Lynx, okay? Because what did she do? She gave you 17 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. What more could you ask for? And I'll tell you what more. You can't ask for much more than that. You can't. Bridget Carlton, honorable mention, she only had 4 points, but had the highest plus minus on the team. She does a lot of things defensively that don't show up on the stat sheet, and I'm going to let the people know, okay? I'm going to give Bridget Carlton her flowers. Courtney Williams was cooking all night, had 14 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Alana Smith had 12 points, 8 rebounds. Kayla McBride had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals. That's almost everybody on the starting line. Well, actually, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's everybody in the starting lineup in double digits. Actually, Bridget didn't have double digits. But you know what? 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. We'll take it. We'll take it. Honestly, this team is always cooking. And honestly, another honorable mention to Chechi Zandalicini. She was cooking for mid-range, okay? She was cooking. Anywho, go watch the highlights if that's what you need to do. For the Mystics, they returned with Shakira Austin, Carly Samuelson, and Brittany Sykes. So basically all healthy, and the team looks honestly a lot better. Like the ball movement was really great, especially in the second quarter. Shakira got teed up for yelling for the and one. I thought that was a soft tech, but who am I? You know, I'm not a ref. Jade Melvin was cooking this game. She was passing the hell out of that ball. And I've been told y'all need to be paying attention to Jade Melvin. She just needed the platform. And she got the platform during the Olympics when she was named Rising Star of FIBA by FIBA. Y'all need to be paying attention and putting respect on that lady's name, okay? She's like that. Anywho, Shakira Austin gave you 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 steals. Ariel Atkins gave you 12 points and 3 assists. Brittany Sykes, you can tell she's back and is really helping control the pace of the game and keeping the ball moving. So that's something that I think has really been needed for the Mystics. She gave you 11 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. Jade Melvin gave you 10 points, shot 2 of 3 from the 3, and shot 4 of 5 from the field in general. Like I said, Paris 2024 Rising Star by FIBA, okay? Put respect on her name. Next game, we have Liberty versus Sparks. Truthfully, the Liberty cooked the Sparks. Cooked them, grilled them, sauteed them, blanched them, poached them, did everything that you could possibly do to the Sparks because the score was 57-28 by halftime, and they just did everything better than them, honestly. They shot 59% from the field to the Sparks 38. They were 6 of 12 from 3 to the Sparks 0 of 5. They had 18 assists to the Sparks 7, 10 steals to the Sparks 3, and 17 points off turnovers. So, yeah. Had to cut this game off in the third quarter because I was like, I can't keep watching this. Honestly, if it was me, I couldn't even be on the floor. I wouldn't have been able to be on the floor because I would have been crying. Yeah. Anyways, at the end of the first quarter, the score was 29-10. Yeah. Truthfully, being up 26 points before the half is kind of crazy to me. But, you know, what can you do? I really think that the Liberty, these might be the champions. These might be the champions this season. I hope not, but they might be. And I have to be a little careful about what I say about the Liberty because, like I said, John Quell was in that live, and then my friend ended up posting like a replay of the live on TikTok of like the moment that John Quell was in there, and John Quell thinks we have beef, and y'all know I be out of pocket a little bit when I talk about John Quell on the podcast, but I was just being honest. Like, I don't even think, because y'all know I did make a remark or two, maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, and it wasn't not the truth. I stand on what I said. I ain't have to say it like that though. So my apologies, but I'm gonna tighten up. Like I said, Liberty cooked the Sparks early on. There was no coming back from that, I fear. Their biggest lead was 40 points. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Their biggest lead, it hurts me to even read the notes. My God. Their biggest lead was 40 points. I cut it off after the third quarter, like I said, because I had seen all I needed to see. Brianna Stewart gave you 27 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 3 of 4 from 3 and 10 of 15 overall. Extremely efficient night for her. Almost every player for the Liberty shot 45% or above this game. That is not good. Anyways. Almost every player shot 45% or above this game. And people keep asking me why I hate the Liberty. And it's because of something like that. Almost every player shot 45% or above this game. Like, it shouldn't be this easy. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like that. That's like, it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't want to watch that. Everybody's shooting 45% or greater. I don't want to watch that. I want to watch a couple of mistakes. It's a little too perfect for me. And I just feel like at some point the wheels are going to fall off of that. And that's not even on no hater stuff. So That's just my truth. Something's just not right to me about that. Something's not right to me. That's not, you can have a really great season, yeah, but nothing is that perfect. I'm watching you. Yeah, I'm watching you, New York, okay? Sabrina had 18 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Kayla Thornton had 16 points, shot 4 of 6 from 3. An honorable mention to Niara Sabali, Kennedy Burke, and Jonquel Jones for their work on the boards this game. Congrats to you guys. I'm watching you. For the Sparks, I'm going to be honest. It's just getting to the point where, like, this team is, like, in the trenches. Like, they have injuries, you know, like, players are dealing with some sicknesses and stuff like that. And it's just at this point, like, if they just make it onto the court, it's a blessing, honestly. And I really mean that. And it just sucks because there's talent there. And, like, anytime they get something good going, it's like they'll play, like, 3.75 quarters of good basketball. And then, like, something just happens and, like, they just lose, like, whatever lead they had, or they go on a run and then it just, the other team just comes back, or they get blown out. It's like one or the other. It's like they worked really hard to win and then just lost, or they got blown out. And this was unfortunately the blowout game, but it's just unfortunate. And honestly, at this point, I'm praying for the Sparks because y'all need everything you can get. Truly. Ray Burrell really carried during this game, though. Dearica Hamby had 14 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Rickea Jackson had 13 points. Kia Nurse had 10 points, shot 4 of 5. And Ray Burrell had 15 points, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. Like I said, Ray Burrell was really carrying, I fear. Like, you know, Dearica Hamby did what she did, but Ray, you were the only reason they were still in that game. You were. Shout out to you. Anyways, on Friday, there were 3 games. The first was Storm versus Dream. I went to that game. Like I said, I had so much fun. I went with my friends. I made a TikTok. I'm going to link it in the description if you want to check it out. But I went rooting for the Storm. I went there to root for the Storm, and they were up good, you know? And then I don't know what the hell happened at halftime. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. I fell asleep during halftime. I did. My friends been clowning me for that all week. They have. I fell asleep during halftime because I'm gonna tell you what happened. This girl, they had somebody performing, and I'm not gonna say that she was there. You know what I'm saying? She was there and she performed. And after she left, there was like 8 minutes left at halftime, and I fell asleep. I did. And my friends trying to take a picture, like a little group picture, like, hey, take a picture. I fell asleep. Yeah, they were like, Tori, wake up. Yeah, girl, because this is actually embarrassing. Because if you ended up on that jumbotron, then what? And that was a fair point, but y'all, I was a little sleepy. I because we had went to Chick-fil-A before then. You know, I ate good, and they got me. They got me this one time. They got me. Anyways, like I said, don't know what happened after halftime, but Tanisha Wright must have given like the speech of a lifetime in that locker room because they were down like 14. It felt like 20. It did. And they just came in there and they came back cooking and they won the game. And honestly, watching Jewel Lloyd hit that 3 to tie the game, like we really thought it was going into overtime, but then Tina Charles hit the winning shot and it was over. I was really happy for the Dream, but I was also really sick because I really felt bad because Skylar Diggins-Smith had a really great game. Like, this was probably one of her best games of the season to me. And then, like, to lose by, like, what? Like, at that point, that would have been, like, losing by 2 points. So, that just really was unfortunate. But the Storm, those threes were just not falling that game. Like, and actually being in the arena and the shots not falling, anyways, it was tough to watch live. And my friends were like, Tori, maybe we should switch teams who are rooting for. We should switch teams right now, right? I was like, no, the Storm, they got it. Like, I really believed in them the entirety of that game. Anyways, Skylar Diggins, this was one of her best games of the season to me. She had 29 points, 5 assists, 3 steals, and shot 11 of 21 from the field. Jewel Lloyd had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. Jewel definitely struggled this game a bit, and I think, like, honestly, like, rightfully so. Like, she carried the team last season, and then this season, you know, they had the Olympics and stuff, so she's likely tired from that and everything, and it's just like, I feel like when I watched them play this game, I was kind of like, they just need more. And that was when I was like, yeah, like they definitely need Gabby Williams, and they got her. So, I personally think that this team is about to like launch out of orbit. But I do think that one of my concerns when I watched this game and then other games this week was kind of just that, like, every other team has kind of like made a trade or like in some way have enhanced their team, or they just look different and have developed over the season. Like if you watch the Fever, like they look way different than they did at the beginning of the season. Like if you watch the Dream, they look way better than they did at the beginning of the season. If you watch like basically any team in the league, like in some way they've made like enhancements or changes. And to me, like, this team still kind of looked the exact same as it did at the beginning of the season. And I was kind of like, I feel like they just need like some new energy or something. And so the fact they were able to get Gabby, I think is going to really change the way that this team looks. And I'm really excited for it, honestly. I think it's going to take a lot of pressure off of everybody on the team. And this just gives them, like I said, another threat on the floor offensively. So I'm excited to see what happens with Gabby. And I hope that everything turns out well. For Ezzy, she had 6 points and 7 rebounds. And like I said, I think we just needed more from Ezzy or Jordan and even Sammy offensively, and maybe they could have pulled this one out. But the Dream just really wanted this one and have really been playing really great basketball since the second half of the season started. So, can't be mad at it. The Storm have played like really great all season, and now they have like something else added to their roster. So it should be interesting. For the Dream, they only had 29 points in the first half, but they played great basketball in the second half and came back down 14. This team looks very different with Jordan Canada on the court. They just look a lot less confused, honestly. Like, you can tell, like, plays are being run, and she's keeping the ball movement going. So I'm happy for them, and honestly, like, I hope the Dream are able to, get into the playoff spots. And I'm sure, like, once Aerial Powers comes back, I'm excited to see how the team looks like really fully healthy. And I think Cheyenne Parker-Tyus got hurt also, like, later on this week, so I hope that she heals up, or anything that's going on with her, she ends up okay. But overall, the Dream just shot better than them and were more efficient. This team has, to me, always been really talented, and they have a lot of talent on their team. It's just like about putting it all together and all of that. And so seeing it all coming together now has been really great and cool, and I hope they can keep it up for the rest of the season. Ryan Howard had 30 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. She shot 10 of 16. Alicia Gray had 19 points, 3 steals. Tina Charles had 16 points, 7 rebounds. And Jordan Canada had 10 points, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 4 rebounds. An honorable mention to Naz Hillman, who had 13 rebounds. So they just did a really great job on the boards as well. So congrats to them. For the Mercury versus Fever, the Fever won 98-89. The Mercury, again, like I've said all season, they've got to stay poised. Like, girl, I don't know like what else there is to say. Like, y'all have got to lock in. Like, you've got to lock in. Mercury, they were on a back-to-back, so can't really be mad at them. At the same time, though, BG got a tech, DT got a tech, and then Natasha Cloud and Kelsey Mitchell got into it a little bit, and Kelsey Mitchell don't even get down like that for real. So the fact that it was just too much, like, to me, like, these technical fouls and stuff, like, they're just giving away free points, and they just need to, got to stay poised. Like, they got to lock in. They got to be more like the Liberty. Like, the Liberty they don't be getting teed up. It's time to lock in, Mercury. Y'all want to win. Y'all trying to win or not? Lock in. Anyways, they came back down 28. Things were really looking up for them, but they just didn't have enough in the tank. Collier Copper, it wasn't her fault they lost. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. She shot 18 of 19 from the free throw line. You can't ask for anything more from that lady, honestly. Natasha Cloud had 19 points, 3 assists. She shot 5 of 8 from 3. Diana Taurasi shot 3 of 10 from 3, had 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Brittany Griner had 10 points, 4 rebounds. I think you needed more from BG this game, and maybe even more from Sophie as well. She only had 6 points, so I don't know. The Mercury are really confusing to me because, like, God, I can't even, bro. The Mercury just need to, Nate, lock in. Lock in, Nate. It's for the Fever. Caitlin was cooking tonight. She came back well rested and finished around the rim very well. This team just looks miles better than they did at the beginning of the season. Like they didn't look awful, but they looked pretty bad. And like I said, all season, y'all been talking about, oh, the Fever suck. They look awful. I've always seen the vision. I've always been like, you know what? They just need time to gel. They need time to gel. You know, there are some things that Christy did need to lock in on. And I feel like, you know, they needed to build up that chemistry. And I'm not a gloater per se, but to see the Fever locking in this way, not to say that I was right, but I've seen the vision for this team for a while now. Everything is piecing together. I have been critical of them at times, yes, and been critical of the coaching sometimes. I have also given some grace to Christy, okay? But I do that to everybody. So I think that basically I was right. Yeah, basically I've been right all season, guys. Anyways, them losing the lead was kind of crazy, though. I will say that, because y'all gotta lock in. Y'all can't let people come back. Like, you have to keep playing good basketball. Don't slip away from what you've been doing that got you the lead. You got to lock in the entire way. Again, young team. I'm gonna give them grace on that one, but it happens a little too often when they have good leads like that. Anywho, I honestly thought that they were about to lose this game. I won't lie, but they tightened up. Their defense looks a lot better than it did at the beginning of the season. They held Phoenix to 16 points in the first quarter. They also had more points in the paint, and they had more second chance points than Phoenix. Caitlin had 29 points, 10 assists, 5 rebounds. She shot 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Great game back for her. Kelsey Mitchell had 28 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and shot 11 of 22 from the field and 6 of 13 from 3. Aaliyah Boston had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. Nalissa Smith had 13 points and 9 rebounds. Honestly, a really great showing for this team, and I'm sure they're going to keep putting good wins together. Next game we have is Sun versus Wings. The Sun beat the Wings 109-91. For the Wings, Jaylen Brown is back. Satu Sabally is back. No Maddie Siegrist this game, but she came back the next game, I believe. I know Satu played in the Olympics, but you would think that she had been playing with Dallas all season the way that she was putting up those shots. Also, my key takeaway of the game is that Jacy Sheldon is a bucket. So I won't respect put on her name, and I will not rest until more people are talking about Jacy Sheldon. Rickea had 21 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals. Satu Sabally had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. Yes, you heard that right. She had 20 points. Yes. Natasha Howard had 17 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals. Tiara McCowan had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks, and shot 4 of 5 from the field. Jacy Sheldon had 10 points and 3 rebounds. Rickea, Jacy, and Satu all shot 3 of 6 from 3. And to me, I think they just needed to play better defense and needed to take more advantage of their post players. Like, to me, I feel like Tiara and Kalani Brown definitely need more touches sometimes, but at the end of the day, like, there were a lot of people who had double figures, so you really can't be too mad at it. But the Sun are just always going to be like a very formidable opponent, so what can you do? For the Sun, I want y'all to hear me when I say this, okay? Celeste Taylor. We need to be talking about her, okay? Like, actually. And if nobody else will, I'll do it myself. Nobody is talking about the fact that Celeste Taylor has been bouncing from team to team, yet somehow fits seamlessly on every single one of them, okay? I will not rest until we talk about how the Indiana Fever have fumbled a bag, okay? The amount of experience that she's getting from vets like DT, BG, DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, like, she has been playing for the Sun, for the Mercury. She's getting minutes. Like, these coaches trust her to go in there and play good defense and to facilitate and make the right decisions, make the right passes. Like, her ability to facilitate, she doesn't even know all the plays. She just be in there. And the coaches have nothing but good things to say. You know what Stephanie White said? Stephanie White said, yeah, you know, she got off the plane and I was like, yeah, girl, you'll be playing tonight. Yeah, I know you don't know all the plays, but just get in there. And she played, like, I think she had like either like 10 or 12 minutes this game. She came in there, played defense, made the right decisions with the ball, and nobody is talking about this lady. Like, when are y'all gonna give Celeste Taylor her flowers? Because I'm doing it. I've been doing it all season. It's time for you to lock in. It's time for you to lock in. And truly, nobody's talking about the fact that this is such a unique experience. Like, she is a rookie and she's being trusted with valuable minutes on various teams. Next season, somebody's to get that lady a contract, okay? Get that lady a contract, honestly, tomorrow. But if it doesn't happen tomorrow, I want Celeste Taylor as a Golden State Valkyrie. Yeah, but Celeste Taylor deserves a home. She does. She deserves a home. Indiana, you fumbled a bag, and you will pay the price for this. You will. I don't know how yet, but you'll pay the price. Anyways, DeWanna Bonner had 29 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 2 steals. She shot 4 of 7 from 3. Marina Mabrey had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. Ty Harris had 14 points, 3 assists. Alyssa Thomas had 12 points, 14 assists, 8 rebounds. Brianna Jones, who is not getting talked about enough, being an anchor for this team. Brianna Jones had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. Olivia Nelson-Adota had 10 points, shot 4 of 5 from the field. They just did everything right. There's nothing more to say here. Like, they just did everything right, and Dallas just needed more. Like, you're getting production from a lot of different players, so congrats to them on this win. On Saturday, there were 3 games. Again, another matchup between the Lynx and the Mystics. Carly Samuelson has started the game, and then she got a knee injury, which really sucks for this team because they were just getting healthy, and unfortunately, she got hurt. But the Lynx won this game 99-83. For the Lynx, I think they just shot more efficiently. They shot 37 of 64 from the field, and they also shot the 3 better, shooting 11 of 21. And they had more points in the paint with 36 to the Mystics 26. And Napheesa Collier is just doing MVP level things. She had 30 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and she shot 13 of 16 from the field. Yes, you heard that right. She shot 13 of 16, 81% from the field. Yeah, you heard that right. Bridget Carlton had 16 points, 3 assists, and shot 4 of 6 and 3 of 5 from the 3. Courtney Williams had 14 points, 7 rebounds. Every player basically played a really great game. And like I said, if the Lynx keep this up, like, y'all should be cowering in corners, actually. Y'all should be shaking in your boots. The Mystics, Steph Dolson had 23 points, shot 8 of 8 from the field. Yes, you heard that right. 8 of 8 from the field. She shot 6 of 6 from 3. She had a perfect night. Shakira Austin had 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, and she shot 5 of 6 from the field. Aaliyah Edwards had 7 rebounds, and Ariel Atkins and Shatori Walker-Kimbrough combined for 22 points. Next game is Liberty versus Aces. Genuinely, Brianna Stewart hit a post shimmy shot and then followed that up by blocking Kelsey Plum. And that's when I knew that maybe the Aces need to go back to the drawing board, I fear. Like I said, I'm really disheartened by what's happening with the Aces right now. I'm hoping that, there's still time to lock in and do better. It's just, we're getting a little bit further into the season. There's still a lot of basketball left to be played, but I'm getting a little concerned. For the Liberty, Jonquel Jones had 2 fouls in the first quarter, but she passed the ball really well this game. She did. Sabrina had 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. Brianna Stewart had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Leona Phoebish had 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Jonquel Jones had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. That's the production I was asking for. That's all I was saying. That's all I've been saying this season. I just needed a little bit more. And she's giving me that. Okay? No hard feelings. We don't have beef. We don't have beef, Jonquel. We don't have beef. We don't. For the Aces, it is time for us to have a sit-down conversation about them. For the Aces, they went on a run. I don't remember if it was in the third quarter or the fourth quarter, but they went on a run to get back into the game. And then I don't know what happened, but they just lost any momentum that they had. And then they tried to shoot their way back into the game. And that never works. But I think what's so frustrating about this team this season is that they have everything like that they need to be great. It's just like things just aren't working the same way that they have been for the past 2 seasons. Like, I love Alicia Clark. like one of my favorite like 3-and-D players, and unfortunately like her shot's just not falling. You know, I think Jackie's in a shooting slump right now, and sometimes Kelsey has like really great games, and then sometimes, you know, she struggles shooting a little bit, and it's just unfortunate because like they have a lot of talent on this team. It's just like they just really need to just lock in and like take everything possession by possession. And Becky, Coach Hammond, has definitely talked about their defense, and their defense is bad at times, but it's not bad all of the time. And I think what's really confusing for me is that like Sydney Colson should be getting more minutes, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, but when she comes into the game, like she kind of anchors the defense, and the fact that she doesn't get a lot of playing time and their problem is defense, I'm just confused. I'm perplexed. Truly, I'm perplexed by that. But we'll talk about that a little bit more later. I think, and like I had also said, I think like it's also frustrating because they know exactly what they need to do, like to win, and to watch them struggle to put together like 2 to 3 good quarters of basketball is like really frustrating, like as a fan of them, and it's also as a fan of basketball, because you know you want like the best of the best from these teams, you know, like you want a good competition every night, and it's just really frustrating to watch like a team that's so talented like struggle the way that they are this season. Chelsea, Asia, KP, and Jackie are more than capable of getting a three-peat, like in my mind. Like I'm never going to count them out. Like I still think that they could, and I still think that they have everything that they need to do that. And if I'm honest, I think what's hard about it also is that like getting 3 championships in a row is supposed to be hard. Like that's it was never going to be easy. And truthfully, like in theory, this 3rd chip was always going to be the hardest chip for them to get. And we're seeing that in real time because like I said, like getting 3 in a row isn't something that happens often in any sport. So the fact that they're even at this point and in this conversation to do that is honestly like insane. And I think what's also difficult, and another part of like the nuance of this conversation, is that like that's a really big expectation to have on your back, you know, like, you know, you've been basically playing, like you've played 2 seasons of like really great basketball, and it's like you're really trying for that 3rd one, and it's just hard. It's just really hard. And that's what I'm going to say about that for right now. But they had 6 turnovers in the 2nd quarter and were held to 8 points as well. And that cannot happen for a championship team. It's stuff like that. Like 8 points in the 2nd quarter is crazy. Asia Wilson had 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 blocks. Kelsey Plum, 13 points, shot 5 of 13. Jackie had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. And unfortunately, like I said, she's just in like a shooting slump and is just struggling. But I'm sure she's going to get back in there. Like, she's Jackie. She got it. Chelsea Gray had 13 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And nobody else really did anything. Again, I have in my notes, why no Sydney Colson? You hate to see that. The next game we have is Sky versus Sparks, and this felt like a very evenly matched game very early on. The Sky won 90-86, and it was just, again, another sad loss for the Sparks. The Sky had 50 points in the paint to the Sparks 34. They had more second chance points. They out-rebounded the Sparks, and they were more efficient shooting from the field. Lindsay Allen had 16 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds, and shot 7 of 11 from the field. Camila Cardozo had 15 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. For the Sparks, Crystal Dangerfield was cooking in the first half. Rickea Jackson is honestly just insane, and I've been telling y'all that all season, okay? It's on camera. There are receipts that I didn't just jump on a bandwagon. Rickea Jackson has been that girl, and I have been said that. Anyways, but I really just need people to put respect on her name. Like, she's just such a great player. Like, her game is just, it's just complete. Like, even like throughout the weekend, like the games that she played, she's just very efficient, and it's only her rookie season. Y'all need to be afraid. Y'all need to be afraid of what that girl's going to do when Cameron Brink gets next to her. You need to be afraid. You need to be, like I said, like with the Lynx, next season, y'all need to be cowering in a corner, okay? And don't let them get that number 1 draft pick. Don't let them get that number 1 draft pick, okay? Because if they get Paige, girl, it's over. Anyways, Rickea Jackson just deserves her respect, okay? She went, hit a shot, and then got right back on defense, forced a jump ball. Respect her. Respect her. Anyways, watching them let this game slip away was honestly tragic because they had it. Like, they did have it. Again, this is one of those ones that they let slip through their fingertips. They scored 20-plus points in each quarter until the fourth quarter when they were held to 12. De'Erica hasn't really been producing as many points as like we're used to. Kia Nurse had 16 points and 2 steals. Stephanie Talbot had 13 points, 4 rebounds. Shot 5 of 9 from the field. Rickea Jackson had 13 points, 5 rebounds. Crystal Dangerfield had 11 points, 6 assists, and shot 3 of 6 from the 3. Hamby had 7 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and Azare Stevens had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. You have to be sad for them. You do. You have to be sad for the Sparks. Anyways, on Sunday, are we close to being done? No. Okay. I'm fighting demons. On Sunday, we had 4 games. The first was Sun versus Dream. The Dream won 82-70. Shocking, I know. For the starting lineup, the Sun have been switching it up to kind of see who plays well with Marina and, you know, having her in the starting lineup and stuff. So they did Dejanay Carrington, Marina Mabrey, DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and Brianna Jones. The Sun, Connecticut turned the ball over a lot. They turned it over 17 times. I credit the Dream's defense on that one. Alyssa Thomas had 13 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal. DeWanna Bonner had 9 points, still kind of in that shooting slump, I'm assuming. 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Marina Mabrey had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and shot 2 of 10 from 3. I think she's still finding her footing there, at least in this game she was. Brianna Jones had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Ty Harris had 12 points. And that's really it. Nobody else really did anything too crazy. For the Dream, they just shot more efficiently. They shot 41% from the field to the Suns 35. The starters outscored Connecticut's 74-49. Jordan Canada had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals. Tina Charles had 22 points, 15 rebounds, double-double alert, shot 9 of 15 from the field, and Tina's been cooking really ever since the break. Ever since the second half started, she's been cooking. Alicia Gray and Ryan Howard had like some rough shots from the field efficiency-wise, but they combined for 24 points and 8 assists. The next game we have is the Storm versus Fever. The Fever beat the Storm 92-75. You hate to see it. Like I said, they just need more options. The Storm held the Fever to 13 points in the first quarter, and after that, the Fever just started cooking them bad. I was really ready for Christy and Coach Quinn to scrap at the end of the game, but you know they didn't. They kept it cute and classy, so you know, no fun for the fans. But the Fever, they just outshot them, honestly. The offense, a lot of it is just generated in the paint and inside the arc. So if Joel Lloyd or Sammy Whitcomb aren't shooting well, the team, it's really hard for them to like produce offense and like win games. So that's really what I think happened there. Kelsey Mitchell had 27 points, 3 assists, 3 steals. She had a great game. She shot 10 of 19 from the field and 5 of 8 from the 3. Lexi Hall, this was her best offensive game this season. She had 22 points, shot 6 of 7 from 3 and 8 of 10 from the field. Aaliyah Boston had 9 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. And Caitlin, not her most efficient night from 3, but she had 23 points, 9 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Caitlin has developed a floater over the break, so congrats to her. For the Storm, They just need more options. Jewel Lloyd had 26 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Skylar Diggins had 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Nneka had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 steals. And Ezzy had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 5 blocks, and she shot 4 of 5 from the field. Decent game. It's just, it wasn't enough. Not a terrible game for the Storm. They just didn't have enough, unfortunately. Next game we have is Sparks versus Aces. The Aces really needed this win, or otherwise they would have been swept by them. And they got this one. They beat them 87-71. The Aces were more efficient, shooting 49% from the field to their 40%. And then they shot 44% from the 3 to the Sparks 26%. The Aces, Asia Wilson, cooking once again, as per usual, had 34 points, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 5 steals. Kelsey Plum had 18 points. She shot 4 of 7 from 3. Jackie still in a little bit of the slump in this game as well. She gave you 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Tiffany Hayes had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and gave some great quality minutes off the bench. Chelsea Gray had 8 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, and shot 3 of 4 from the field. For the Sparks, Dearica Hamby gave you 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 steals. Rickea Jackson had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. She shot 7 of 11 from the field. And Kia Nurse had 12 points. I don't think the Sparks are ever really going to win this game, unfortunately. I really think Ari McDonald was playing, some really great basketball for them. And without her, I don't know, guys. I don't really think that the Sparks are going to be doing anything anyways, but it's just tough to see. It's tough to watch these games sometimes for the Sparks. It's just really tough to see the Sparks go out like this, truly. You want them to be successful. I get it. It's like a rebuild anyways, but, it just, it's not going great. All right. Next game is Sky versus Mercury. And I'm going to keep it a buck. If the Mercury had lost this game, I was lighting Nate Tibbetts up. Just know that. And they lost the game later this week. And you already know I have things to say. So Nate, give me a second, because I'm about to cook you in a minute. When the Sky got within 10 points, I got a little concerned. I did. I was like, now Nate, fix it. And he better be glad that Mo Billings and Diana Taurasi saved him from getting cooked. They saved him this one time. They couldn't save him later on this week, but they saved him this game, okay? Because honestly, had they lost that lead they had, Nate, watch your back. I'd been telling. Anyways, Mo Billings had a great night. They gave her a contract for the rest of the season. Like I said, I think I said at the beginning of the episode, I don't really remember. For the Sky, there's a lot of discourse on Twitter about the coaching and whether or not the Sky are running an offense and their play style. And, people are going to talk or whatever, and that's whatever. I'm going to say this, though. Nobody hitting any threes that night. That's not going to work, I fear. It's not going to work. Chicago's going to have to, I don't know what they need to do in the offseason, but they need to retool some things. They do. They need to retool some things. Angel Reese had 19 points, 20 rebounds, and was 8 of 16 from the field. Honestly, a decent night for her. That sounds good to me. Kennedy Carter had 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Izzy Harrison and Camila Cardozo combined for 24 points and 10 rebounds. The other guards just have to contribute more. Playing 10 to 20 minutes and not having more than 0 points or 3 points, it's just not... You're not going to win anything like that. And I understand it's a rebuild. But damn, it's not going to work, I fear. Some of y'all need to go back to the drawing board. For the Mercury, Diana Taurasi had 23 points, 5 assists. BG had 18 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Sophie Cunningham had 13 points, 10 rebounds. Monique Billings had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Collier Copper didn't have that great of a game, but she's luckily tired and everything. So, if anything, this was a game that the Sky could have and should have stolen, but they didn't. And I wanted to give an honorable mention to Natasha Mack for the 7 rebounds she had, okay? People aren't talking about Natasha Mack. And I'll do it. Natasha, you're doing great work over there. Like I said, this was the Sky could have taken this game if the guards had been producing a little bit more, but again, it's a rebuild. I won't be too critical of them. I can't go out there and do it. Or maybe I could. No shade. But like I said, the Mercury, I'm watching you. You're on thin ice. Nate, you're on thin ice. On Tuesday, we had 3 games. I'm glad we're almost done because I can't keep living like this. Tuesday, there were 3 games. Sparks versus Sun. They had this game at TD Garden. I think that's the name of the arena, right? Wherever the Celtics play, that's where it was, okay? Truthfully, I fell asleep watching this game on multiple occasions. I had turned the game on at least 3 or 4 times, and I kept falling asleep. And I think that's very telling. So what I did to get through the game was I put it on 1.5 times speed, and then I left the room for 20 minutes. And when I came back, it was the end of the game, and the Sun were on a 13-0 run. So congrats to them. Good job putting something together. The Sparks were giving them a run for their money. Again, you hate to see that because the Sparks had been in the game. They were in the game. They weren't getting blown out, but got cooked anyways. It's a damn shame. Again, like I said, you hate to see the Sparks let a game slip away. You hate to see that. For the Sun, their new lineup for this game was Alyssa Thomas, Brianna Jones, Marina Mabrey, Dejanay Carrington, and Ty Harris, and DeWanna Bonner offered to come off the bench. That's a vet move right there. Shout out to DeWanna Bonner. Dejanay Carrington had 19 points and 4 rebounds. Brianna Jones had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block, and was 7 of 11 from the field. Again, people are not giving Brianna Jones her flowers enough for me. She has been nothing but consistent all season, and people need to put respect on her name. Ty Harris had 14 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. Alyssa Thomas had 9 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Marina struggled a bit this game, but I think that's okay. You know, you're coming into a new system. You have to figure it out, figure out when and where you need to be shooting and stuff like that. DeWanna Bonner is still in that shooting slump a little bit, but, it's okay because they have Marina and they have some other options out there on the floor. So everything's going to be fine, I'm sure. For the Sparks, they turned the ball over 22 times. I'm going to let you sit with that one. Okay. Rickea Jackson had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. Azurá Stevens had 14 points, 6 rebounds. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You can go look at the box score for yourself because I won't be repeating the horrors that were on that stat sheet. No shade. No, that's no shade. That's just that's my truth. I'm sorry. That's my truth. Love y'all down, though. Love y'all down. The Wings versus Liberty, Jacy Sheldon got the start this time. I barely paid attention to this game, so I'ma just say what I say, do what I do. This is one of the games. I watched this one, but just barely. It was on. I was playing on my computer though. For the New York Liberty, they didn't have any Sabrina. She's out with the neck injury, I believe. But I'm going to say this about the Liberty. As much as I don't like them, what the Liberty are doing to the league should be illegal. Yeah, it should be illegal. Stewie had 26 points, 12 rebounds. Not a super efficient night for her from the field, but it did not matter at all because Jonquel Jones had 23 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals. Courtney Vandersloot had 15 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds. Kennedy Burke had 13 points and 3 rebounds, and they out-rebounded the Wings 47-28. And the Wings, honestly, team too big for that. I'm sorry, team too big for that. For the Wings, Maddie came back this game. They're not really giving her a lot of minutes, but I'm gonna shut the hell up on that one. JC played some heavy minutes, and she facilitated really well. She played good defense, and to me, that was a good coaching call. Satu is a free agent after this season, and I'm wondering if she's going to leave or not, because personally, I feel like Dallas has good bones, and I felt like there were many moments in the season, even when she was out, where, they kind of looked decent. They looked good. They had some good wins in there, They've had to be very gritty this season, but I do have a very strong feeling that a lot of moves will be made in this offseason, unfortunately. But I would really like to see, the Wings get their draft pick, and I would like to see, I'd like to see them kind of stick with it and see what they can do with these players healthy for a full season. Anyways, Satu Sabali had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. She shot 8 of 14 from the field and 5 of 8 from the 3. She was honestly the only person keeping them in the game for real. I'm going to be very honest. Rickea had 17 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Natasha Howard had 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 steals. And Jacy had 7 assists and 5 points. Pretty decent, honestly. Against the Liberty, pretty decent. You can't even be mad at it. Can't be mad at that performance. For the Storm versus Mystics game, the Storm won 83-77. I watched the quick game because I was basketballed out. Yeah, I just couldn't do it anymore. The Mystics look great, healthy. You know, the guards passed the ball well. I don't know if you guys saw Julie Van Lowe's floater, but it's very high arching and it's a lovely floater. So if you didn't get to see that, go ahead, look at the highlights. Good stuff. Ariel Atkins had 25 points, 5 rebounds, and Shakira Austin had 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 steals. Brittany Sykes had 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. For the Storm shot 13% from 3. Yes, you heard that right. 13% from 3. Yes. Not exaggerating. Not lying. Nneka had 24 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals. Jewel Lloyd had 18 points, 3 steals. Skylar Diggins had 17 points, 5 assists. And Ezzy had 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. 13% from 3, though. They won the game, but damn. On Wednesday, there were 2 games. Mercury versus Dream. I watched the quick game again. I did. The Dream beat the Mercury 72-63. You know what that means. Nate, I'm coming for your neck. But first, the Dream held Phoenix to 6 points in the first quarter. And I'm putting the shot chart on the screen for the first quarter. Is there no shame, Nate? Is there no shame? 6 points? Alicia Gray had 21 points and 3 rebounds. Ryan Howard had 19 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists. Tina Charles moved up to second on the all-time scoring list, had 12 points and 17 rebounds. Congrats to you, Tina Charles, honestly. Give yourself a pat on the back. People clap for her. For the Phoenix Mercury, this is a sad loss to me because the Dream didn't even outshoot them. They weren't more efficient shooting. 6 points in the first quarter. 6 points, Nate. 6, Nate. How does that happen? Tell me. How does something like that happen, Nate? I would like to know that. I'll tell you how that happens. And I'll tell you whose fault it wasn't. It wasn't Collier Copper's fault they lost this game. She had 22 points and 6 rebounds. It wasn't Brittany Griner's fault they lost this game because she had 14 points and 8 rebounds. Everybody else, single digits. Like that first quarter. 8 points. Nate, you better be glad I don't own the Phoenix Mercury, okay? You better be... Watch your back, Nate, okay? Anyways, next game we had was Lynx versus Aces. Really great game, honestly. I made so much content about the Lynx versus Aces matchups this day and then 2 days later. And then I did another video for the Lynx versus Fever. So if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on that, go to TikTok. I'm going to talk here too, but you know, more in depth over there. The Lynx cooked them 98-87. For the Lynx, Myisha Hines-Allen got traded the day before this game, I think. And, was it this game? Hold on. Let me look. They played them, and they played them, and then... I think it was this game. I think Myisha Hines-Allen got traded at some point before then, and then, you know, she got on the plane, and she was playing with the team, and honestly, you would have thought she was here all season. She played amazing basketball that first game. You can't make this stuff up. Like, this team, it's giving champions. It's giving champions I put money on that. I'm not going to put money on that, but I would put money on that. It's giving champions. Every single starter in double digits. It doesn't get more perfect than this. MVP gave you 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block on 9 of 15 shooting from the field. At some point, y'all are going to have to respect this team, and y'all are going to have to put respect on Napheesa Collier's name. At some point, you're going to have to do it. You can't keep running away from the truth, okay? You can't keep running away from the truth. Courtney Williams was cooking as well. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists? Question mark? I don't know which one. I don't know if the assist was 10 or if it was the rebounds 10. I don't know, girl. I got a typo here. Google it. Bridget Carlton gave you 12 points, 4 rebounds. Alana Smith gave you 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. Kayla McBride gave you 11 points, 4 assists. Cecilia Zandalicini gave you 8 points and was 2 of 2 from the field. You can't ask for more than this. You can't. You really can't. What more do you need to see? These are champions in the making, okay? Maya Moore's jersey went up the other day, and they cooked the Fever, okay? They went and played the Aces again. I'm expecting the Aces to go out there and make adjustments. They beat them again. Who's stopping the Lynx? Who's stopping them? Because they beat the Liberty in the Commissioner's Cup. Who's stopping them? Who's stopping them? When Napheesa Collier went down, they were still playing pretty decent. They won 3 of 5. Can't be mad at it. Who's stopping the Lynx? It's quiet. You want to know why it's quiet? Because it's probably nobody. It could be the Seattle Storm. But it's giving nobody right now, though. Anyways, for the Aces, Sydney Colson isn't getting enough minutes for me. This game, she really brought some energy for the defense, and then she got benched. Don't know how that happens, but it did. Jackie Young gave you 26 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Shot 6 of 8 from 3. Kelsey Plum gave you 20 points, 5 rebounds. Asia Wilson, 15 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. And really, what's crazy is the Lynx game plan to stop Asia is just putting 3 bodies on her, leaving everybody else open. They don't care. They just said, not you, Asia. We need more from others. We need more from others. Tiffany Hayes gave you 12 points and 3 rebounds. They're just struggling, to me, it seems, to put together 4 quarters of great basketball right now. It's the defense, yes, but even when they played them the second time, it just still wasn't enough. Like, they played better defense, but it just still wasn't enough. I don't know what they need to do. I really don't. I think, you know, some of the players, they talk about some of the calls that weren't, some of the moving screens that weren't called. And I will admit and agree that they didn't call some stuff. But at the same time, it is like you're not going to get every call. And it is about, like, you know, what you're able to do, you know, when the odds are stacked against you. And I hate saying that. I do. I really do. I don't know. The second game, it felt more evenly called. But I don't know. I really don't know, guys. Lastly, this game on Thursday, Wings versus Liberty. I watched the quick game again. I watched that Lynx versus Aces game for real. Anyways, but the Wings versus Liberty, couldn't watch that one again. The first one was pretty tragic. This game was tighter than the last one, but the Liberty still won 79-71. For the Wings, Rickea had 19 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Natasha Howard had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Tiara McCowan had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and Satu had 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Decent game, honestly. It was really close. They just didn't have really enough in the tank. For the Liberty, Brianna Stewart had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. Leona Febich had 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. Kayla Thornton had 16 points, 5 rebounds. Jonquel had 13 points, 13 rebounds. Again, no Sabrina because of the injury. And lastly, how I'll close the episode is the Lynx. Y'all should be afraid of them. That's all I have to say. I do want to thank you guys for watching this episode. This was really long. It dragged a bit, but you know what? Next episode is going to be better. Hopefully I'll have better energy. I really just need to get this one done today. But you know what, guys? I'll be stronger by the end of this week, and I'll be here hopefully Saturday to give you another episode. And if not, you know what? If you want updates, just go on Twitter. Twitter is where I be updating, and on TikTok too. People be asking, is the podcast coming in? And I be telling them like, oh, I'm working on it. So if you want updates, go follow me on social media. So you know when these are coming out. I really do appreciate you guys watching and listening. It really means a lot to me. Like I say all the time, not to get sappy, but I'm just really happy and proud of like the community that's being built here. And it really does mean a lot to me to like kind of grow something out of like really nothing. I thought nobody was going to be watching or listening. And I really appreciate you guys, like I say, every week. And I'm sure I'll be even more sappy next week when I come on here. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, follow. Stay up to date on new episodes. Get in the comments, share your opinions. I'm going to put the poll question over on Spotify. So if you want to go check that out, please go do that. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.